Craig's feedback yesterday that I guess the first little part gets cut off. So I don't understand. Here's one of the things I don't understand about these systems, and I guess I have to move my lighting around a little bit again because I look like I'm on Tatooine. But the you get you get um you get to push the button that says go live. And then the numbers count down 3, 2, 1. And you think that at the 1 you'd be live, but based on feedback from the folks that have been joining us, you are not actually live after the 3, 2, 1. There's a little bit of delay. And then the other one that's interesting is it feels like there's a 3, 2, 1 or 1, 2, 3, whatever at the end. And the reality is, I guess when we hit the end stream, it just cuts everything off. So, there we go. The joys of live streaming
and learning the ropes, figuring it out, going with the flow, all of that good stuff. Yeah, that's cool.
Around just so we can get the other thing that
so Restream does kind of have a little bit of a production studio.
How so? What do you mean?
Oh, because he just put us both like from that to the other thing.
It's kind of cool. Yeah. So I can keep pushing buttons here and I can move things around. So there we go. I'm a producer. Yesterday I became a developer. I pushed some code live on a site, made some changes like to deal with some things that we're seeing in our Google Analytics stuff. And I think as a result, I have developer experience. So now I'm a developer, and evidently based on this, I'm actually a producer. Like I could keep doing these.
You are a producer. Like, look at this. What's funny is that
there you go. It's just going to drive some people absolutely nuts, but so there you go. If you want to know, you can.
I can't be on the left. You got to put me on the right.
Where do you want to be?
For me, being on the left is very uncomfortable. For some reason.
Is that because that's how we started that whole thing? And we just kind of
I don't know, there? But the way I have my thing set up, I'm looking off to the left of my camera. Yep. So now it looks like I'm kind of angling over towards you. If I'm on the other side, it looks like I'm staring off into space.
So the reason we were a little bit delayed, I do this thing every year, this time of year. I do a series called Merry and Bright. So when Brent joined on, I had the green screen still up. The lighting, I'm kind of moving around. I think Brent said I looked a little dim earlier this week. So that might have been on Monday before the lights really started to kick on. So moving different things around and want to be able to just go quickly from scene to scene, which is quickly from doing that kind of stuff to doing this kind of stuff to then kind of having things organized from a workflow perspective. So what you're seeing is we're kind of clicking on buttons and moving things around is different parts of the setup, both the setup and the production thing inside Restream, but then also when I zoom out, I get a lot of reflection off the whiteboards because the whiteboard is glass. So there you go, a little behind the scene, and you can actually see it. I pushed, so to give you context on timing, I pushed record on that video, the Catch Me If You Can video at 5:45 my time. Joined Brent at 5:50 in Restream. Got the editing finished right about 5:55 while we were talking through some stuff, and then pushed that live. So there's the timeline. Maybe a little bit off on that, but there we go. So, but that's not what we're here to talk about. Even though that's actually doing work, taking experience, applying it, figuring out how to iterate, which some might actually call that. What's the L word that people might call that?
Learning.
And learning is what?
Training is an event. Learning is a process. Technology supports them both. And performance improvement is our ultimate goal.
One day I will get that down and I will be able to say it out loud. And I'm going to shock Brent by saying it before I say learning is a what?
You don't have to ask me to say it then. It'd be perfect. Go. Well, should I drop in our news question of the day? I mean, yesterday was a doozy. It was tons of fun, and let's I'm excited to see what it comes up with today.
I can tell you this. Jen really liked my commentary about the Penguins.
I did too. I thought like that was another one that should be clipped. And that section was fantastic.
There might be someone who wants to clip somebody.
You mean she really didn't like it? She was
No, she did. She really did. I was saying the people who put that image together. Like,
Oh,
how would
yeah.
you put the penguin at the end with the, the face down? Anyhow, thank you, Craig,
Yeah,
for
I
the
mean,
squirrel stuff. Also, we with Craig's feedback and a little AI work, Brent, you were able to create a Simpsons version of our cover art. And that cover art is now the standard cover art that we're going to use for each of these. And I think what would be pretty cool is if you could update the news heading for each of the individual episodes when we go back and update the thumbnails on YouTube. But we'll get there at some point in time.
yeah, here for those people who I'll share my screen for folks.
There you go.
This is a special shout out to Sean. Did he see it yet?
I don't know if he has seen it yet. Oh, actually, so here, this is one of the frustrating parts about living with me. One of probably many. And Sean doesn't live with us. He's not up at the house. But of course, you've got text strings that go back and forth. And
Yeah.
I've got a lot of content that I put out there and I'll share with them. And I sent this over and I did not get any comments on the YouTube video, which the thumbnail is this. So I don't know if he's seen it or not, or what the current state is, but he'll be over the house a little bit later, and I will ask. But I think it's awesome. And there's so
I
much
thought it
detail
turned
in
out
here.
great.
Like,
It
so,
looks like we're fighting each other, though. I was going to go back in and update it and ask the AI to make the eyes like point up at the clouds, make the cloud a little smaller, and put it up higher, and then have our eyes looking up at the clouds because it looks like we're about ready to throw hands.
that might bring that, but that might bring more people here. Like, we've had some pretty good conversations. I mean, we had a pretty good conversation around using AI to help in meetings, and then
Yeah.
we were, so like there's it's maybe this is part of the design for us. So here's the other one that I like. I asked Brian, I said, can you do a South Park version? And if you scroll up to the top, you had the South
Oh,
Park
yeah. I've
up
got one
there
of
too.
those too. Yep.
Oh, way up at the top, it looked like it showed images. I forget how. Yeah, see,
Yeah.
there we just look a little bit too happy. Like, like we're just like.
Well, I didn't. All I did to make this one was I said something like create an image where these two guys are South Park characters, and then I just changed it to Simpsons characters and whatever. So I started there just to see what it would look like. Then I went in and I put in the prompt that said make it look. I said reference the famous old man yells at cloud meme and create an image similar to that with these two guys and make it. And then I said, put in quotes, old men yell at clouds. And yeah, it did it great. And then I was able to change the name of the newspaper too.
Can you imagine trying to do something like this 5 years ago?
Yeah, it would have taken me like a whole afternoon in Photoshop or something, or Canva or, something, just building it, myself. But I wouldn't have been able to figure out how to do the character thing. I'd have to find some app that was like Simpsonize yourself, that kind of thing,
Yep. Well, then you go back even like 10 years. So before the Simpsonize Yourself app, because those things kind of came out, right? And then and it's just cool to see how quickly the technology is evolving. and what
Oh,
you're able
yeah.
to start
I
to
mean,
do.
shoot,
And this and
even 2 years ago, you couldn't do this. The AI image generation was
yeah,
not good. And still, it's like, this is what I've been telling people about, the AI stuff is you have to be just okay with what it gives you. If you start to get too anal about it and you like, oh, I don't like that font, or I don't like, I want to change this detail or that. I mean, it's getting a lot better. I mean, the fact that it even does well with words now is amazing. It used to not do words well at all.
Craig is challenging you, saying that it might not really have just taken an afternoon.
Well, I didn't say it would be good.
But think about how many iterations you were able to do, because you did this, you did the Muppet one.
Oh yeah,
Who are the guys up in the balcony?
Statler and Waldorf.
Statler and Waldorf. I get them confused with the guys from Trading Places.
Oh yeah. What were those guys' names? I forget. Mortimer.
Yeah.
Something in Mortimer.
Somebody help us out in the chat. Who are the old guys in Trading Places?
Now that's a great
So
Christmas
keep going through
movie.
the iterative process. So like you go in, now we're able to test and do so much stuff, and there's no fear of, from my standpoint, this is going to get people pissed off or probably get us banned on LinkedIn or whatever, but there's no fear of fucking it up. Like, and
Oh yeah.
it's this, you can operate with a way of, you know what, I can always back up. Like I can always start back. I can go backward
Yeah.
on the branching scenarios.
Yeah, and what's funny is that whenever I come up with an idea that I want to throw into AI and make an image for it, it's really weird. It's kind of embarrassing to even say it, but it's like the amount of excitement I get getting ready to click the little arrow to go, the amount of anticipation I have waiting to see what the image looks like is it's like, it's pretty insane. It's like a kid on Christmas morning waiting to see what his presents are going to be, to see, and when it comes out good, it's like, yay. That is awesome. I love it.
Yeah. So okay,
No,
I
the
get.
two rich
We know
guys,
that
right?
it's Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd as the actors who were in Trading Places. We're trying to figure out who are the two old guys who plays
That bet the dollar.
yeah, that bet the dollar on the whole thing, and what characters did they play?
$1.
Yeah, and I think Brent's right. It's Mortimer, and for whatever reason, I think Wallace is one of them.
No, that doesn't sound right.
So somebody will help
Yeah,
us.
who knows? But oh wait, let me zoom in.
All right, look, you got news. It is. Can you believe it's December 18th? We've got a week. We've got 7 days until Christmas.
That the numbers of the days hit me yesterday, and I was like, oh my God. Or I remember what it was. A friend of mine scheduled a meeting with me, and she was like, is it okay if I just schedule it on the 5th? And I'm like, oh, and then that just dawned on me. Holy buckets. It's like, it's not that, like the 5th of a new year is almost here. It's like, oh my God, that's right. So you just think it's all going to slow down, and it never does.
It never.
So okay. So yesterday's breaking news was
oh wow.
Didn't we talk about this merger yesterday though, or was it different?
We talked about Coursera and Udemy, did we?
Maybe not.
We talked about Learning Pool. We talked about Learning Pool yesterday.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Craig,
Yeah.
we're not looking for the actors. This is me like shouting at the while you're driving down the road. Not the actors, the characters they played. Characters, people, the role they played in the movie. And thank you. So, actually, just so everybody benefits from this, we got first we had Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd, and then we got the the two old guys, and we were going to get to their we're going to get to their actual roles in the movie at some point in time. I am certain, but this is pretty cool. I did not see this. That's awesome.
Yeah, so merger creates a massive learning platform entity valued at approximately 2.5 billion. I think I said this at the end of last week, beginning of this week, maybe. We're gonna keep seeing this. The mergers like this. There are more to come. I've heard rumors of several others that I don't think have hit the news yet. So, yeah, this will be a daily breaking news thing, I'm guessing. So,
Craig, we will figure out how to get there. We go. Mortimer Duke, thank you. Craig says, "Put me in, and we can clear this up really fast." We will take care of that. We are going to figure that piece out. We're also looking at
the name of the law
want to do.
is Duke and Duke.
Mortimer
Randolph
and Randolph. Yes. Thank you. Perfect. Craig, you made my day. It was that anticipation that Brent was talking about when he's waiting for the AI tool to come up and give the image. It was the anticipation of me seeing the names of these folks. One of the things we're working on, and this is probably another squirrel moment, but we're working on what do we want to do kind of during this Christmas and New Year holiday period. Take a little bit of break and then pick things back up at the beginning of the new year and then get into some more of the testing and that kind of stuff. But we'll get to that a little bit later, either today or tomorrow, and talk through it. So this is pretty cool. I think this is one that we probably will come back to because that could be a pretty interesting conversation. I'm really interested in your view on where some of the additional consolidation is going to happen from your perspective, like what you're seeing and hearing there. What else is going on in the news?
I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of small ones, like a lot of these little AI businesses are going to be consumed into some of the larger ones. I think you're going to see some interesting things amongst the authoring tool world, and also you'll probably see some moves with some of the larger content creation consulting firms. Some will be picking up and buying the tool companies just so that they have an in-house tool, so they're diversifying. They're not just providing services. They'll also provide a product. Some of the product companies may be picking up consulting teams, and so that they have an in-house studio and services division.
Yeah.
And then and then there'll be big ones like this. I think you might hear some of the large LMSs doing deals. So I think there's a lot of room in turbulent times. There's a lot of room for this kind of stuff to just happen, and when there's this kind of uncertainty. And I think what's happening also is that as technology moves forward faster, the price of the work that we do and the products that we create for companies, customers, it should be getting cheaper. It's just how everything works. So over time, everything gets cheaper. I remember, $50,000 used to buy you a basically a, a slide deck with a next button and a multiple choice test at the end, wrapped up as a SCORM package. And then 10 years, 20 years later, something like that was $5,000. So, I think so. When that kind of stuff starts to happen, you can make a nice business out of a $50,000 product that you can build for much less. But to build the same product, even though you can build it faster and better, but people are only paying $5,000 for it, it makes it a little bit harder to run those same studios. So that's it's a race to the bottom.
And at the same time, I think there's also an opportunity for being able to introduce quality.
Yes, I was just about to say that's that's on the other side. Yep.
Yeah, in an environment where you might not have had access to that same level of quality, that same level of thing that you need.
Yep.
So it's cool, and this is where as you're kind of going through end of year stuff and thinking about next year and thinking about the next couple of years. There are a lot of times that people use this period to start planning and kind of envisioning what's next and that kind of stuff. Keep notes to yourself. What gives you energy? What sucks the life out of you? What do you want to solve for? What do you want to avoid? And as you do those things, what you'll find is you'll find better fit across maybe some small companies or even large companies that are moving into a new space that you've got a high level of familiarity around. So, think about your personal journey in addition to the journey that the business that you're operating in or around is going through. Back to the news.
Yeah, no, I was just going to add at the same time, certain types of training. So, in a slide deck where the interactivity is a next button or a back button, and it's a SCORM package and it has a quiz at the end. To your point, that was a pretty big deal because it took a lot of effort to get to that product and to get it done, and it used to take a team of people to do it. And then as the tools got better, you could just whip those out. It's not that we all wanted to do that. It's just that was the best we could do under the constraints given us and the costs and whatnot. But now with all of the pricing and everything dropping, my anticipation is that we as an industry can now finally start leveling up our quality quite significantly. So you can either race to the bottom and build more of the old stuff faster and cheaper. That's one way to go. And you can make money and a business doing that. Or you can still stay at the the higher end of the quality spectrum and be leveling up the product that you create. And so I think there's space for that. There's room for the quality to be improved significantly, and that's something I'm looking forward to in 2026.
Yeah.
So you got Fosway Group's Digital Learning Realities 2025. The latest release from this ongoing study reveals that a majority of L&D professionals do not believe their current learning systems are fit for the modern workforce. The report also highlights that L&D budgets remain under significant pressure. The well-being failure. Do we have well-being systems?
I mean, there are. It depends. I guess it depends on how you talk about. Like, what are they saying that current well-being systems are failing to keep pace with rising employee strain? Yeah. So, really cool company that I had a chance to do some work with a while back and wanted to check out is a company called Mequilibrium, and that's kind of that's kind of the space that they're in, which is building resilience across an employee base. And you could use
Hmm.
this technology to help you with nudging and a little bit of behavioral science applied and all of that kind of stuff. So it's an interesting area. I think so. Yes, we do have companies that focus that do this kind of work. Um, it's interesting that be interesting to see the like is the failure piece look beyond the check the box solution versus actually um, having an impact. Um, yeah. So there are there's a company out there to do just about anything.
Yeah, people will find a niche for a lot of different things. Yeah. Retention warning. Personnel Today reports that nearly 25% of workers plan to quit their jobs within the next year, underscoring a critical retention challenge for L&D and HR leaders entering 2026.
This is one of those ones that we can have a lot of fun with, like 25% of where, at what level, like
Yeah,
we can kind of get into,
just workers.
yeah, just workers. Like, at what percent are planning on retiring next year?
Yeah. Oh, so I guess they're just saying workers in general, and it underscores a critical retention challenge for L&D HR leaders. So basically, L&D and HR needs to work harder at keeping workers. But the way I see it is there's probably not a whole heck of a lot that L&D and HR can do. The bigger challenge is how do we replace all of those people, and how do you keep that that historic IP from just walking out the door? Uh, so how do you collect that knowledge and make it available to the rest of the company?
Yeah.
So I think that's the bigger challenge, because the folks that are, when somebody answers a report and they say they plan to quit their job within the next year, yeah, I mean, I don't know, 25% to me just sounds like normal churn. It doesn't sound like any sort of warning, or because if it just says 25% of workers, that's like 25% of all the workers. So that's not that many.
Yeah, but it'll look good. It'll look good in somebody's justification report around why we need to invest in this new knowledge management system.
Yes.
I don't know if anybody invests in knowledge management systems anymore. But yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah. No, I did the cranky old guy yelling at clouds post, and for some reason it didn't get any traction a couple days ago. So I guess I'll just stop that. Okay, so technology awards. Speaks. What? I don't even know what that is. Won gold for best advance in unique learning technology, recognized for blending expert-led language coaching with AI support. See, that's the interesting thing, is that I don't think you need a special tool for that. I think you could ask Grok or use the audio version of just about any AI that's out there, and you can ask it to teach you a language, and or you could say, talk to me in 2 different languages.
Yeah.
You know, Skooks, I do know them, secured gold for best advance in learning management technology, cited for its new AI engineered learning platform. Woo! Wonder how different it is from everybody else's AI.
The thing I'm kind of laughing about is how both of those companies that won have X's at the end of their name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's got to be something
there. It's like back in the day when you'd open a company and you'd be like AAA plumbing.
Yeah, right. You wanted to be at the top.
Plumbing. And then everybody, what I loved is when people would put things like in the naming conventions of files and whatnot, they put like an asterisk in front of the thing, the name, so that it shows up at the top of the list. And man,
well, a number. I used to number mine to make sure that it hit the top instead of a thing. Yeah.
Yep. And then we wonder why our data is screwed up.
Yeah.
Naming conventions count.
They do. When I won't go down that rabbit hole.
Right.
Training Orchestra. I do know them. We saw something from them showed up. ILT and VLT management. Yeah, their award showed up in the news yesterday, a couple days ago.
Okay.
Yeah, and Totara's ISO certification that showed up yesterday. So those two are rehashes. Come on, Gemini, you can do better. AI and skills development. Did we do this one yesterday or already too? AI workforce impact. The Digital Education Council released the AI in the workplace, noting that 72% of employers anticipate headcount reductions due to AI. Wow. Yet cite lack of training as a top barrier to adoption.
That's awesome.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I got nothing there. I think it pretty much speaks for itself. That's one cloud I'm just not going to yell at anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and if we ever feel like we want to yell at it, it'll come back up.
It will come back.
It'll still be there. It'll be there to pick just about any day. I know that Craig likes when I say out loud that we just need more training, and we just need and everything requires a training. But anyhow,
let's cite lack of training as a top barrier to adoption.
So what do we got? The news is kind of boring today, other than
General Assembly. So they've launched 4 new hands-on AI course launched 4 new hands-on AI course tracks designed specifically to close the skills gap for 2026.
Sweet.
So they're basically taking care of the first bullet point.
What I love the skills gap. What skills gap? How long have we been talking about the skills gap?
Oh,
it's kind of cool that we're finally going to solve for it.
Yeah, finally. And I'm glad somebody did. That's the end of it. Wow, there just wasn't a lot of news today.
Not a lot of news today. I think let's go into the Coursera Udemy merger and see what it had to say up there. Anticipate. I think AI has created a lot of unnecessary fear in the industry. I'm going to throw Craig's comment up here. Is it AI or is it the people who use AI? And I paused for humor. I don't think the joke landed. Like, we know all that stuff like AI won't take your job. People who use AI will take your job.
Yes, it makes a great bumper sticker.
It is.
Gen Z workers. So I would wonder why Gemini didn't pick up that one. Gen Z workers report generational tensions in first year at work.
Oh, no. It is one of the coolest things about kids being the ages that they are right now, and our kids are relatively close. Like they're all moving into the work space right now. Number one, you start to hear the stories about what they're experiencing in the workspace. So that's kind of cool. But the other one is you hear the stories about what their friends are experiencing in the workplace, and we suck.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of that. I get stories from Matthew all the time. And there's good stories too. I mean,
sure.
It can be a mess. I don't think we are I don't think we're doing that generation we're not doing right by them.
We're doing a shitty job when it comes to setting and managing expectations. And at the same time, we've done a shitty job in helping them be comfortable with setting and managing expectations. Like both sides of it, meaning we haven't enabled and empowered the kids to set and manage expectations properly in some instances. And I think on the other side, and it's the people who've been leading those kids at home who are now not setting the expectations properly inside the inside the organizations. We've got some comments from Wendy and Brent. I couldn't tell if you were trying to share something a little bit different or not.
Yeah, I just needed to share a different tab.
Pop it, do it again, and I'll be able to click on it.
Okay.
I missed the click the first time. Both companies know they need to implement for bottom line fear of the replacement factor, especially after the big company layoffs this year. So it's both, but it comes down to fear of the unknown. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
yeah, and maybe that's one of the skill gaps. We'll say it out loud, and we'll see if Gemini picks it up in tomorrow's news session. But maybe one of the big skill gaps is overcoming fear, or like navigating that process, or what is being able to distinguish between what is real and what is manufactured. And
well, yeah, just to kind of step out a little process check. When you and I first started doing this, that was kind of, but one of the high level goals that I wanted us to be able to do was to just add a little brevity. Well, that's not the right word, but a little levity. Is that the word I'm looking for?
It was levity.
Yeah, it just lighten up the load for people a little bit. Be able to laugh at ourselves, be able to laugh at the industry, be able to, help people take a little bit of, a little bit of the pressure off.
Yeah.
Have a good time, to not be afraid of this stuff, to not freak out about things. Yes, there's a lot of turmoil out there. Yes, there is fear of, losing jobs and all that kind of stuff, but a lot of it is so much out of our control that freaking out about it really doesn't do much good. So what I like to think that we strive to do is to help people see things differently, get a fresh perspective on the AI, and encouraging people to see what can be done, and to not feel denigrated by producing an AI image and being excited about it and posting it somewhere, and then having a bunch of people going, "I can't believe there's AI slop all over the place."
There, Craig put in a comment here. He's bringing us back to serious stuff. So, on a serious note, is it really AI, or is it really the people that use it? Are they afraid to be left behind in this technology and fear unknown, or are they really fearing the tool and what it is capable of? And one of the cool parts about this, again, holiday season, my brother will be out, and it's and back in the day, you talk about having that crazy uncle. That crazy uncle is my brother. So my kids have the crazy uncle that is my brother, who will be over at the house. And these are the kind of conversations we have around this kind of stuff. Like, and there's this balance of both my excitement of the technology and his view of the world is ending. So they make for very, very good fireside chats. But at the same time, I also understand that not a lot of people have folks that they can have those kind of conversations with. Because sometimes you have that conversation and people just think you're crazy.
Right.
Like, you get off my lawn, or shout at the clouds, or whatever, and they dismiss it. And I think there's a scene in a movie. It's one of my favorite leadership scenes in a movie, and it goes back to a animation. Do you ever see the movie Bug's Life?
Oh yeah.
So at the beginning of A Bug's Life, and I forget exactly what happens. I think it's a leaf that falls or something, clipping of grass, whatever. It cuts the ant line. And when it cuts the ant line, the ant that gets cut and can't see the other ant's butt that it's following is like, "Oh my God, the world is ending." And then a ant leader kind of come over and guide them around, and everything's gonna be okay. And I think that's the piece. Like, find your guide of everything's gonna be okay. Kind of trust the process, work through it, and we'll see how things kind of go along. So
Yeah.
yeah, and that's the cool part about being able to have these kind of conversations and shoot the crap with some folks while they have coffee in the morning and we have coffee in the morning.
Indeed, indeed, and this is the most fun. But yeah, my answer to Craig's statement is just yes. It's all of those things, right? It is fear of being left behind, fear of the unknown, fear of the tools, and a lot of it is just ginned up by the media because fear is clicks, right? Having some, scaring people gets you clicks, and clicks makes you money. And, more people that read your stuff, the more people that freak out, and the more people that are afraid, the more, financially better off you become. And so, like I said, I have hope we can reverse that trend for folks a little bit. So I'm pretty much all out of juice.
What's it saying? Is there any big thing that pops up, and then we'll wrap things up here a little early. And as Brent's looking for like the key things, just because the text's a little bit small for me to read, but what helps me in this format in this environment are the questions, the questions that people ask, like, hey, this is what I am thinking about, or this is what my team is thinking about, or this is what we're thinking about as a leadership team inside our organizations across the board. Like, it's, hey, what I'm thinking about, what my team is thinking about, what we as a leadership team or an organization are thinking about. Ask the questions, and you can ask the questions publicly, and then we can share it and be like, hey, Wendy's got this great question around this, or Craig has this awesome question around this, or Dr. Thorne, who was in here yesterday, has this amazing question around it. So we can do it that way, or we can anonymize it. And a couple of different ways to go through it. But here's the thing, and I say this a lot of times. I say this in every workshop that I do. I start out from a context perspective. If you have a question, it is your obligation as a leader to ask that question, because somebody in the room may have the same question but doesn't have this confidence to ask the question because they don't want to feel dumb, or they don't want to look stupid, or they want to feel like, ooh, they should have already heard all of this stuff. So lead in that environment. Let's ask more questions, and then we'll get to the point.
That's the beautiful thing about how I do it, is I'm perfectly okay asking the stupid questions and being made to look stupid. So it's
So timing. So what'd you see? What jumped out at you here? Anything?
That's what I'm trying. I was just trying to cruise through it, but I mean,
I think the big thing, just as you've been going through it, the big piece for me is I like your perspective on how you feel like we're moving into a space of consolidation, more consolidation, more mergers and acquisitions, kind of pulling things together and pulling of resources. And that pulling of resources, a lot of times people will consolidate from a customer acquisition perspective, technology, buy versus build, like that kind of stuff. Wendy just had a comment in here on the Coursera Udemy. It makes me think Udemy classes will cost more and barrier to entry will increase due to cost. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that could happen. The next thing is timing. Like, how long does it take?
It's going to take a while. And each one has its own unique business model too. So each company might share resources on the back end, but the front end and the product itself of each product might stay the same. Like, I don't think one brand is going to go away and just sort of magically blend into the other. And it might over time, but that's going to take some time.
And I may be way off on this, but back in the day, weren't they kind of the same? Like, didn't they start as the same? Both Udemy and Coursera start in that kind of MOOC space where it was, and then Udemy made the first entry into like Udemy for Business type thing, and I don't remember when Coursera did that, but I might be misremembering some of that. Were they?
Yeah, they probably both came out of Stanford during the exact same time, you know, or two people that worked together on something, and then they both split off and started different businesses. That could be what you're thinking of, but I don't know off the top of my head. Mid-sized learning tech providers.
All right. So by request to folks, if you have questions, ask. It'll help us as we move things along.
Yeah.
Brent?
I don't think there's anything really too special about it other than it's just two big companies merging, and it's just part of a greater trend that's going on. I think that's basically the bottom line. Hey, David, how are you?
Look at David Landis. David, good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Indeed. But we're just about ready to wrap up.
We will be here tomorrow.
Same
bat time, same bat channel.
Indeed. Yes.
Brent, where do you want people to find out what you're working on?
Hit me up on LinkedIn. Yeah.
And on my side, you can find your catalyst at findmycatalyst.com. Please ask those questions. Those questions are going to help us as we go through some stuff. And we'll see you tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock, bright and early here in Arizona.
In sunny Arizona. Adios, everybody.